Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to BattleTech Heavy Metal. I was just looking at the store here and I realized something. The one type of locust we don't have yet is actually this one. So, incidentally, we're going to be able to complete an important chassis, one of the ones that's actually relevant for the weight class completions, for very cheap here, which is nice. I probably don't need to buy this, but I'll feel really silly if I pass this up and then it turns out to be hard to find a Locust V somewhere. So let's just go ahead and do this now so that I don't space on it, because it is entirely possible that I might. Absolutely just throw that garbage in storage. Please do not put that in the bay. Alright, and then we have some great big contracts to complete today. Well, we have a big contract to complete today. And when we do this data piracy thing, I think we're gonna sandbag a little bit and run an intentionally worse than optimal team, just so that it'll be a little bit more interesting. But for Broken Chain, I feel fully justified in going all the way. We have a very ambitious target in mind for you, a Davian logistical base. Thousands of tons of armor, ammunition, mech parts, and personnel pass through this facility every day, all on its way to frontline fighting units. A strike at this base will seriously hinder the Davian forces, perhaps, possibly, even turning the tide of battle completely against them. It's true, nothing is more important than the supply chain. So, we are going to roll out here and blow up their supply chain a little bit. I'm not 100% sure what I want to do for priority salvage. Obviously, there's a possibility of being able to take home some very valuable stuff here. I might just leave it as it is. That's like a full mech of decent salvage. Now, these destroy base missions can sometimes be a little tricky in terms of, you know, turrets and whatnot. So, like I'm saying, we're definitely bringing the full team, the big angry team. Crab. Is this the way we want to do this? This doesn't include the Warhammer. I'm pleased that we have enough big mechs that, like, optimal team is not a totally obvious thing. It's a jungle biome, so we're going to see slightly greater than normal heat sinking, right? Because the moisture on the vents and stuff. So we could run the Warhammer here. This is a battle where the Warhammer will fit. It also will tend to be a place with uneven terrain, which makes the catapult valuable. Maybe we don't need to run both the Annihilator and the Crab? Also, the Annihilator, I need to do another round of naming. I think I want to run the Warhammer. I like the Warhammer a lot. I really love dropping in on people and hitting them with the double snub PPC. So maybe we back off on the Crab. I'm just thinking, uneven terrain, heavily forested, like it might be hard to actually get the Crab to a place where it can do the shooting it needs to do. So why don't we... Annihilator goes in the last slot. I think this is probably more like the order we want them moving in. And then we're going to go serious mode with the pilots as well. If we're going to have a disaster this episode, it's going to be in the second half. So let's see here. This is what we had been doing previously. And I mean, obviously, returned in the Warhammer. The guy who can't be killed in the mech that is most likely to take serious damage, I think makes a lot of sense. The Marauder having breaching shot is also very good. Although we could swap cruise and tire fire here, probably. Now, I like the combination of breaching shot and the very, very high accuracy of the hoplite. Okay, and the only the only sensor lock we have is, like, our sensor locks are awkwardly placed, but we don't have room for sensor lock on the hardlight because we gotta have all three of these things. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm a little... As we move up into the actually difficult tier of missions, I'm looking at that 800 armor on the Warhammer and wondering if I should alter the build a little bit. Maybe pull a medium laser or two for a ton of extra armor. Like, 1 ton of armor is actually fairly significant. I don't remember exactly how much it is. It might be 40 or something like that. Like, it's quite a bit. If we could pull 2 medium lasers off of that thing and put a ton of armor on basically on each side, like split over torso and arm, it would make a big difference. It's got to be more than 40. It might be 50. It's either 8 or 10 clicks of the button, I'm pretty sure. Alright, to interrupt the supply chain, we need to take out several key structures. Move up to engage, you know, blow stuff up. We're going to pretend that this is more complicated than that, but it's really not. And remember, we do not necessarily have to just fight everybody we come across. We absolutely have the option of blowing up 3 buildings and then getting the hell out of here.
On my way.
And in fact, if we manage to take down an important, valuable mech or 2, it might be the case that running away rather than filling the loot pool with garbage is the smart move, financially speaking. Is there any reason for me to move up, or... I think I want to let them come to us a little bit. They are definitely running some big stuff here.
I've got something.
Wait, what is that? Did that vehicle say... Okay, 80. For a second there, I thought it said 20 tons, and I was like, what the hell moves on 2, but is that light? Alright, I don't necessarily want to expose myself to all of the turrets. Actually, is the Warhammer the one we want to go first? Maybe not, right? Can we get the Annihilator out there in a place where it can actually shoot anything? It needs a little bit of targeting help. Alright. Yeah, let's do it like this. Let's try our best to land in the cover. So what have we here? A heavy sniper turret. Okay. Sort of thing I sort of wish I hadn't put myself directly in front of. It's really it's just 2 PPCs. Like those AC2s do 25 damage each. This is non-lethal? Oh, no, not necessarily. The snub PPCs could do the job. Ooh. Okay, we had a full hard miss over there, but we still managed to put it together. So that's a grasshopper. They have some other big tank. The grasshopper's not exactly terrifying, except in that it is fast and good at punching. So it could run up here and really have at us. Do we want to have somebody move up for the purpose of shooting at the grasshopper? We could try something here, right? Like we have a bunch of weapons. He does have guarded and cover, no bulwark though. So that's 40% damage reduction. I'm wondering about having crews just try to take his head. We don't need the grasshopper parts, but removing him from the battlefield would make my life a lot easier. Yeah, let's see about it. Let's see if we could get a little bit lucky. We'd have to get more than a little bit lucky, because 2 of the weapons have to hit the head in order for this to work.
This should be good.
But it could happen. Nope, we only got 1. How bad was the damage? Okay, pretty bad. 28 is 60% of 40, so like almost all of our weapons would kill him with a single hit even through the amount of cover he has right now. If only we had the resources to make that a concern. I really want the Marauder to go last, because we're gonna jump up and look at that turret and take a pot shot at it. No, maybe I don't want him to go last though, because the catapult can help with the turret. I'm just really nervous about jumping up there, seeing that turret, and then getting splattered by it, and unfortunately, we can't see it from cover. Alright, I'm just gonna go. Is in fact a heavy laser turret, but it did go already. So in case you're not aware, the hexagon that contains the initiative value is orange on the enemies who haven't gone. So I guess I hadn't noticed, but we did not have to be afraid here. Okay, that's a pretty easy pickup for the catapult.
Commander.
And we gotta remember, I did not reveal myself to the enemy because we have a much longer visual range than it does. That's actually super helpful. I kind of wish that I had realized how useful a viewfinder would be earlier.
Turret destroyed. Ready for orders.
Alright, I think this is a pretty good start for us. So, we can have the catapult try to just nail this thing to the ground. I don't see that working, really. I think I'm gonna pass down again. Trying to knock down a heavy mech through entrenched is not... It's certainly not impossible, but it's also not something I'm eager to try to do. Let's see, we can jump pretty far out. That guy's gonna have, my guess is, guarded and cover and maybe also bulwark. We don't know what that is. It's maybe like an Orion or something, probably. I think, yeah, let's let them move forward. Maybe we can get the grasshopper to move and attack and lose his bulwark.
What can I do for you?
I want to run the Marauder over this way to grab this thing. We're in medium laser range there. I might be able to kill it myself. Do I want to jump just for the extra evasion? Yeah, alright, 1 pip's better than no pips. That is a demolisher. Okay. So that's a thing I'm glad that I know.
Firing everything I've got.
Oh no. We gotta work on that Alpha Strike. Alright, excellent news for us. Real bad news for him. I think this is a good time to have the catapult do a thing. Now what I'd really love is to find a position where I could shoot my large laser at one of these 2 targets, because I think those are the 2 things that are most important. Can I jump back up onto this hill and get a direct? No. Alright, well, I guess what I'm going to do then is fall back to here. We'll give... Oh, Sourdough doesn't have multi-target. That's right. Shoot. Then I think I'm just going to give the Demolisher everything. I'm not going to precision strike it. We'll just try to open up a hole. My suspicion is, even if we did precision strike, we wouldn't get a kill there. We can make it easier for somebody else to pick it up.
I hear ya.
So that thing is a heavy laser turret. It's going to fire... Ooh, you are in medium laser range, too. Alright, can we get the Annihilator to a position where we have a shot on it? Probably not, right? Yeah, the way the hill is built. Okay, the Marauder's just going to eat some fire here, in a way that's, like, very unfortunate. Alright, any one of the weapons does the job now. I'm probably going to turn... no, I'm not going to turn anything off. We only have an 18% hit chance here.
Commencing Alpha Strike.
Okay, that looked pretty good. I think actually 3 of the weapons, maybe even more than that, hit where we needed them to. Okay, well. Glad that I got that 1 pip of evasion, I guess. And then we gotta make a serious priority of crushing that Demolisher. Like, to the point where I think this might be the play. Alright, time to find out. That's a PPC carrier. This is in fact an Orion with, like, a pretty serious pool of weapons on it. I'm in a situation here where I don't think it makes a lot of sense to mess around. Let's just dump it.
Enemy unit destroyed.
As the crab has taught us, a pair of AC-20s must be taken seriously. Alright, here I think we're gonna pick up the rest of this turret, maybe? We could shoot the Orion. An awful lot of cover. I'm less worried about the PPC carrier. Yeah, I'm gonna just finish this off. We'll just put the LRM-15 into it. Feels like a little bit of a waste, but somebody's got to finish it. Alright, definitely time for the Marauder to take a little cover. Also, man, we need more injury reduction cockpits. So what am I more concerned about? The Orion does have an AC-10. As well as just a large amount of general garbage.
Commander?
Maybe the right play on that one is... Oh, man. I can't get a shot on it from where I'm at. Really? Wait, really? I have no direct fire from here? He had direct shot on me. That's pretty weird, actually. Well... Then... Most of the damage went to the left, so we, like... Jump up, turn to the right, and just go for the dome.
Here we go.
We do this, and then we back up next turn.
Got it.
Ah, that was pretty bad luck, actually. I was expecting at least 2 head hits from our, given our percentages and everything. We can see what that turret is now. It is a heavy shredder, so not much to fear as long as we stay back. And obviously we can dump coolant, so I think I'm more interested in shooting the Shrek. I think the damage potential of the PPC carrier is a little bit lower, but first of all, it has not yet gone this round, and secondly, I think it's easier to kill. I'm gonna not precision strike it, I think, just because it seems like precision strike is behaving unreliably. Alright, we're gonna have to be real careful with the Warhammer now as its coolant situation recovers and everything.
Ready, set.
Looks like I do not have a shot on... Oh no, I do have a shot on the turret. Yeah, I'm gonna start softening this thing up. As the additional benefit of being a pretty low heat play. Okay, and then the Marauder's going to get to move before anybody else gets to shoot at it, which is really nice. I think I'm going to step up here and just finish that turret off. So we don't need to fire everything, but I have a million missiles. It'll be fine. Also, I think the rain looks really nice. That's not exactly like super hard futuristic tech. Lots of games have rain that looks pretty nice, but it's good. It's atmospheric. Alright, so how exactly do we want to deal with this guy? Do we want to give the Marauder... Oh wow, actually I didn't get any headshots last time. That's really bad luck. We could try to just leg it, maybe? Have the Warhammer jump to, like, here so we can get in that... I mean, the arc on that side would be even better. Apparently I do not have access to that. I do have access to his back. We can just core him. Orion V, that's the one we have already, so we don't need this mech to come out of this in very good shape. And we suspect there are no other enemies around. I said I was going to try to take it easier on the heat, but I think we'd be fools not to go for this. Oh, look at how thin the armor on the back is. Yep. It is a little bad that that's an uncovered position, but he's going to lose some of his damage potential, so... Okay, that makes this position a little bit more precarious. I kind of thought the reinforcements wouldn't show up until after we were done fighting these guys. Well, all the more reason to try to ventilate this dude now, because we need to not have them having free vision. Wow, I really have to turn off a lot of stuff. Alright, but if we manage to punch through here, break off his AC-10, that removes a lot of his menace. Okay, pretty good. Man, if I had just gone for the center, it's entirely possible that I would have gotten the job done. But I wanted to do that in, like, the safest way possible. So his center structure is pretty screwed up, and we could just go for the core. Or, alternatively, I could drop him with the leg. We definitely don't want to still be here. You know, probably the Marauder needs to just back off for a turn.
Sprinting.
Yep, and unfortunately we have an awful lot of enemy fire. It's a bad time for them to spawn.
Warning. Enemy sensor
That's pretty bad, because we are entirely reliant on our evasion to survive this. Starting to add up on that arm.
damage minimal.
Good to go.
Alright, the Annihilator needs to finish the job on this dude, like, immediately.
I read you, Commander. Moving out.
We are taking no chances here.
Take this.
Wow, really? I didn't hit his center, like, almost at all there. Almost all went into the leg. That's not how that is supposed to work.
Warning.
Okay, well at least we know they don't have anything else that that moves on one. So we've seen the worst of it. You are not quite going to be able to knock him over. Can you get a shot? Yeah, that is at least on the front.
Jump jet.
And I think at this point we do try to just take the leg out. That'll make it so much easier for everybody else to put him away. I'm shooting through my own neck here a little bit. Alright, so that's got that resolved. Warhammer needs to back up and kill this guy, preferably while turning the left arm away from danger. Alright. What am I allowed to shoot? Definitely not all that. I mean, what do I actually need to do here? 17? I could probably just do this. That's pretty likely to work. That's a lot of heat that we bled off there. We're only 2 turns away from having coolant vent again. I gotta stop putting my phone on the structure that has my microphone attached to it. Sorry if that that vibration came through the mic there.
Waiting for orders.
Let's take it easy for a second. Now that they don't have vision of us, we have a moment to breathe. I think the Annihilator needs to get around into some kind of fighting position. It does actually have quite a bit of armor.
Sprinting.
Although, up here would be better, obviously. And you are going to continue to take it easy. I feel considerably more prepared now. Having a second lance come in just as you're finishing a fight with the previous lance
Holding action,
is
Commander.
pretty bad news. Okay, so now, who wants to generate us some vision? I guess maybe the answer is nobody can? Okay, you can give me something. You cannot if you walk, though.
Uh-huh.
And that thing lands really hard. Alright, well, that's a Marauder, and we certainly don't need a second Marauder. That said, going through the middle feels a little unlikely. Man, they really didn't build this thing to kill. PPC, AC5 is, like, unimpressive. Well, we could leg it fairly easily. Maybe that's the play. Try to take one of the legs and then pick it apart while it's on the ground. It'll be... Probably it won't matter which leg we pick, because everybody's going to be hitting it from the front no matter what.
And there's more where that came from.
Also, it really won't matter, because it turns out Cruz is pretty good at her job. Alright, so I bet we can get that other leg before the end of the turn. I have a good
Waiting for
feeling.
orders.
Actually, I guess it's going to depend on whether or not the Marauder can actually get a shot. I was expecting the enemies to come forward a little bit more, if I'm being honest. Alright, let's put you up here for right now. Bummed out that I don't have more of a shot. That's real goofy. We may as well shoot at a building, right? Small ones don't have a lot of health.
Got it.
Enemy structure eliminated.
I guess the downside of that is that I did put the recoil modifier up, but Tirefire knows how to control a gun. She'll be fine. Honestly, she may have enough recoil reduction due to her very high stats that it won't matter anyway. Alright, I can get at least the medium lasers in. This is a lot of evasion, but no cover. Ah, whatever, I get to move early next turn.
Engaging jump jets.
I could Vigilance. We haven't done a lot of Vigilance, but I do think it's actually pretty useful. So it costs the same resolve as Aim Shot. It'll give us 3 initiative next turn on the Warhammer, and also Guarded, which means I also get the benefit of my Bulwark. It's maybe not necessary, but I guess I don't need Precision Strike. And it would be nice if the Warhammer was in a state where I feel comfortable taking it into another mission here. This is probably defensive overkill. And I think I would rather turn off both the lasers. Okay, we killed his command mod, which is cool.
Good to go.
Remember, we usually think of that command mod in terms of it being a thing that improves our aim, but it does also have damage reduction for the entire lance on it. So that matters. It matters a little bit.
Firing.
I was going to say, if you actually managed to fail to destroy that leg with that many missiles, I was going to be very upset. Well, I know we did a thing to give us extra evasion here, but I think I'm just going to stand here and tank. We don't lose the free guarded until I actually do something with my turn, so let's let them come over to us and waste their ammunition. That's a little more dangerous. There's a quick draw, and then there's something way in the distance, and the way it's behaving, I'm assuming it has LRMs. It could be a catapult. 65 tons. Could be their own catapult. It'll at least be firing into the friendly arc. Okay, I appreciate them all
Damage minimal.
going in hard on the quadrant that I chose to show them.
Warning. Armor low.
And so that right there is one of the many benefits
Commander?
of vigilance. Obviously, the gain in initiative is also very significant. So this is a Catapult C4. Catapult C4 is not a mech type that we have, but it's also actually not one of the ones that counts toward heavy completion. Quick Draw 4G, on the other hand, totally is, and we have the other kind of Quick Draw. So it would not be a bad thing to take that guy's head if we can.
Go.
You get a shot by jumping down? Alright, looks okay to me. It's like we're not gonna get a clean shot no matter how we do this. But without you being in laser range, you don't really have much of a chance of killing him. Well, let's try with the Annihilator first.
Moving out. Got it.
Okay, there you go. That's all it takes. So 3 pieces of the quick draw in the pool. Now, that guy's got some serious defense. We're gonna go for the headshot here, and I'm just gonna give him the AC-10. We have breaching shot. If this lands, he dies.
Roger that. That's a kill.
Maybe a strategy that's a little bit on the overpowered side, just a tiny little bit.
Orders.
The Warhammer doesn't have sensor lock. Boy, I guess we're just gonna take out another building?
Affirmative.
I should probably rest some of my weapons here. We could lose some heat.
Fresh real estate available.
And then the Warhammer just hides, I guess. We just, like, run away. I don't particularly need to get involved in combat with this thing directly. Although, also, at the same time, I suppose, I'm going to go before he is next turn. So, why not? Why not jump up here and give him a little push? Catapult C4. Okay, same guy. We do not need, particularly, to put his parts into the pool. So if it looks like it's easy to just core him, that's what we'll go for. 190 health on the leg. It's not that much worse to just go center. You try to disarm him a little bit. He's got a lot of ammo. So we're not going to be able to completely remove his ability to fire LRMs. I think I'm just going to go dead center. We can, between the lot of us, we can pile up an awful lot of damage. I'm of course, between the lot of us, I meant just this one mech on account of all of those PPCs.
Yes, Commander.
Snub PPC is a wonderful tool. It's like, what if? I want you to imagine for a second. It's a PPC, but it does 3 times as much damage. And there's some downsides or whatever, but it does 3 times as much damage. Alright, feels like we were pretty dominant on that one. We took 6 total points of structure damage on the Warhammer. How bad was the damage to the Marauder? I don't even remember. They did not get through the armor. That's right, the damage to the Marauder was tire fire got shot in the face. But only a little bit. She got shot a tiny amount in the face. Turns out you can take that. Okay, so, this is interesting. Quick Draw 4G is a scoring objective, so we should probably finish that. And then beyond that, what do we want here? The catapult will count toward our general mech counter, but honestly, we don't need any help with that. We already have a grasshopper. Do we want a second one? We also could pull in a second... We could start building a second Marauder, just in case the worst happens, because the Marauder is very powerful. Like, powerful in a very silly way. We're also not at all close to being able to actually build it, though. This thing has 4 rocket hardpoints? Ooh, that's actually very interesting. Okay, I'm going to take part of the C4. I want a mech that has 4 missile hardpoints. That is something we could definitely make use of. Gave me a Marauder part anyway, and just a bunch of stuff. Okay, feeling pretty good about that. And there's also like a decent amount of money. I don't know if we actually want to use this quick draw at all. I don't... It's a 65-ton mech, or 60 or 65, so it's like reasonably heavy. But this is not the one that mounts all the lasers, right? One of the quick draws has like 1,000 laser hardpoints or something. Okay, do we have the other one in the bay? We do. Yeah, this is the one. The one with the 6 laser hardpoints. I mean, there's something to be said for a 60-ton mech that has 5 jump jets. That's a fast machine. And to be perfectly honest with you, I was looking at our bays a little bit, trying to figure out what we're going to use the different mechs for, and I don't really think we have a role for the K2 catapult. A version of the catapult that can't mount missiles is just like not a thing I'm interested in. We have enough long-range laser and autocannon mechs. So why don't we do a swap here? Did I press the... I meant to send that guy to storage, but I think the send to storage button... No, okay, that did the thing I wanted it to. Listen, I've only been using this interface for like hundreds and hundreds of hours at this point. Why would I have any idea how it works? Alright, we gotta capture a base for the Draconis Combine. We've been monitoring communications traffic on Flintoff and discerned a pattern. We've actually seen this exact mission text before. Yeah, go capture the base. Got it. So, like I said, we're gonna sandbag a little bit on this one. We're also gonna take a little bit more money. Do I want to go down to 0 priority salvage? Maybe not. There's still actually a fair number of mediums that we could use completion on. It's a lot of money, though. That's a big difference in pay. I'm going to take it like this. It's still a lot of money this way, too. So, if we were to try to run a lance that's a little closer to the depicted difficulty. Unfortunately, we haven't actually got a lot of our stuff completed. What is this trebuchet? It's just the catapult, but smaller. I mean, that makes sense. I can see why that was the build. What is the +++ on this? Stability damage? Okay, that's interesting. So we have a long-range stability damager. We could run... Who's a good up-close mech? You are... Missiles and medium lasers. I mean, that's not an incredible alpha strike, but I mean, I guess the whole point of what we're doing here is that we are intentionally running kind of a bad team, just so the mission will be more interesting. Okay, so Skandrenin comes in, and then this is half a symbol worth of toughness. It looks like we're probably going to be able to run one of the big mechs and maintain our difficulty rating. Is it the Annihilator? Do I want to go all the way in? Probably not. The Annihilator and the Marauder are both so incredibly powerful. I guess that's true of a lot of these, though. And like if we go with any more small mechs, I think we're gonna have a hard time getting up to 3 skulls. Like let's say we took this thing and then one of the big guys. If we brought in the Annihilator, that's 3.5. That's too much. If we brought in the Warhammer, that's 2.5. I'm confident we can get it done half a symbol under. This will be a little bit more interesting. And again, this seems like an opportunity to level stuff up. You know what? Darius keeps telling me, hey, go to the barracks and level your dudes up. I wonder if some of these lower statted people have the XP necessary to get where we're taking them. Okay, not quite, but important to get these points as soon as we can get them. And trampoline, have you done it? You have done it. You big, beautiful man, you. And then we'll also grab some more accuracy.
Training confirmed, Commander.
Alright, that 9th point of tactics is a big deal. Okay, now let's get in the thing. So we still want to use him in the mission team. We just want to make sure that we're also running Grizzly. So Grizzly, with your stats, you probably want to be on something that's going to be kind of close. Oh, it undid my mech changes. That's a little annoying. Oh, she's driving the Griffin, and I really like Ace Pilot on a mech like this. So we can jump in, wait until the end of a turn, jump in, be reasonably well defended, shoot the enemies, and then if it looks like after shooting we're still in danger, we can shoot and jump back out, or we can just play it sort of like the Warhammer's been playing. There's a lot of versatility in that. And then we were going to run this... No, not this Griffin. We were going to run this Trebuchet and this Phoenix Hawk. Phoenix Hawk's a lot of fun to use. I'm trying to think, do we need another jump-in fast mech, or would I rather just have the catapult? Because the catapult puts us at 2.5 as well. This team allows us to generate like a silly amount of stability damage. That might actually be a little bit more fun. Just knock everybody over. So... Trampoline definitely still needs XP. Are we gonna run them like this? You're probably in the right seat. The Phoenix Hawk should probably have the one person who has heat coolant vent. Yeah, I think this is sensible. Alright, we're giving you guys a fighting chance out here. Don't embarrass yourselves. I can't remember who the enemy even is, but let's just hope they don't embarrass themselves. To be perfectly honest, it might be the case that in order to see an interesting battle, we're going to have to go more than half a skull under at times, as we've seen in the past. But also, every once in a while, you do a 3-skull mission and it's actually a 5-skull mission, so it's probably not safe to go too far under. Variants can kill. And it can actually literally kill, and sometimes will. I will say that if we had run the Warhammer here, it would have been easy to have it be the mech that carries Dr. Murad in and drops her off in the middle of the base. But it's fine, the Griffin's probably up to the task. God, I hope the Griffin's up to the task. If trying to have the battles turn out a little bit more interesting actually gets a bunch of our mechs blown up and a bunch of our pilots killed, obviously I will be sad. We want to go close. We want to skirt close to dying, but not actually have anybody die.
Let's do this.
Right, Commander.
I don't think there's a lot of tech to apply just yet here. Let's just get on the road.
Got it.
Start heading down Flinthoft Route 0 here. Boy, they started us out really far away from the base. Also,
Coordinates received.
I don't know if I've ever seen this map before.
Okay, let's go.
That like dense city at the end of the road. This is a cool one.
Coordinates received.
I'll tell you what, it reminds me a lot of one of the spaces that you see in one of the trailers for MechWarrior 5. The first like big gameplay trailer had mechs coming sort of down a hill out of a forest into a city area like this. Can you... Oh, it's not your turn. Hold on. Can you get a hold of that turret? Yes, you can.
Got it.
Alright, there's the facility. Move in, neutralize defenses. I'm on it. I'm currently attempting to neutralize the defenses. You guys are talking to me and preventing me from doing neutralizations. Okay, heavy laser turret. I take it seriously. Let's kill it. Wow, that was some shooting. Also, that's probably not supposed to look like that. I assume it's only supposed to be up here when this building is in one piece. Alright, maybe they figured out some kind of hover turret technology. Whatever's at the bottom of that turret is the same thing the Marauder's legs are made out of. That said, this should still be easy enough, right? Oh yeah, that is a trivial kill. God, I love 35 long-range missiles.
I hear ya. Hey, Commander, I got something on sensors.
Okay, let's have you run around here.
Copy that.
What is that? It is a heavy shredder. Well, we'll get a whole round before it gets to do anything. I'm confident we can clean that up as well. Turrets are just not a big threat. The only time that you really have to worry about turrets is when the terrain is built such that the turret is very far away from you and it's hard to access it, and there are mechs that can provide spotting for it. So let's see, I have 360 ammo. Yeah, there's no reason to save here. We can go ahead and just throw damage straight into this thing.
Waiting on you, Commander.
Hold on, I'm not going to have you go next. Let's try to kill this thing with the closer range mechs, so that we can potentially have this thing get shot by the catapult.
Alright.
It's a small amount of overkill. I maybe could have avoided that
I
heat.
hear ya.
You do not have sensor lock. Nor do you have the ability to get vision of that turret at all. That's a shame. Well, I guess just run up the road.
Waiting on you, Commander. Got it. Max speed, no...
Heads up, Commander. You've got hostile contacts inbound.
Oh no, the Space Marines are here. That looks like a... From the silhouettes, that looked like a blackjack and something pretty
For
tall.
orders.
Maybe even a grasshopper?
Waiting for the shot.
Yeah, 45. I'm pretty sure that's the blackjack. 40. Was that other silhouette maybe just like a javelin? I'm still a little iffy on the appearance of some of the newer mechs. I mean, they definitely had something to move on to. Could have been a grasshopper.
Waiting for orders.
Let's have you just jump right up here. Oh no, can I not be in cover and also see all of the enemies? Actually, I guess that's fine. It doesn't matter. I could do it if I go here.
I leap. I soar.
That's an assassin. That's not the thing I saw. Ooh, an 80-ton. Okay, this reinforcement lance is serious. They are not kidding around. Let's just blow up the turret first, because it actually still has a turn.
All weapons are go.
Right, if it doesn't go right now, we'll be able to destroy it before it gets to shoot. Ooh, that was an AC-20 shot that just went whizzing past my head.
Nice try.
I forgot myself. That was a real dumb play. Should not have happened. Let's see. We can have you jump up and finish him off. Don't have multi-target. Does anybody have multi-target? Okay. Because we don't need to shoot everything at this turret.
Uh-huh.
How much health does it have left? 89. So the LRM-20 probably gets it. If we hit expected value, the LRM-20 will almost exactly get it. I'm gonna also give it the large laser though, just in case. And then what do we want to shoot at with the other thing? The assassin's not actually very dangerous. And neither's this blackjack really, but Just strip a point of evasion here. Yeah, because if we had varied off of the 90% hit rate by even a single missile, that turret kill would not have happened, and then we would have had to devote another mech's turn to it, and
Standing by.
probably we just want to have the trebuchet do a sensor lock, given the difficulty we are having in hitting these enemies.
Moving to position.
Oh, we can go ahead and run down here out of cover because they can't get visual on us anyway.
Got a lock.
All right, whatever that is, it is fairly serious.
Ugh, here we go.
All right, Grizzly. Thing does not have a lot of health. You can probably just gut it. Oh, and it keeps ammo in its center torso. BJ1 is not a mech we have, but I'll take a single piece of salvage. I'm fine with that.
Receiving you.
It's not exactly awesome shooting. Well, the blackjack's easy enough to hit now. Maybe I should have precision strike there. Wow, I'm surprised at the percentage of his weapons that made contact. Oh, I guess the assassin's the one that has the
What can I do for you?
the evasion charge ignoring tech, right? So that makes sense then. Can I get a direct shot from any closer? It looks to me like probably not. Well, if I'm not in laser range anyway, I may as well run up, right? And then we'll try to core it, and if this doesn't work, then at least it'll be on the ground and somebody else can core it.
Special delivery.
Oh yeah, easily. This is like a job for
Hey,
the
I
ace
hear
pilot.
ya.
Shoot center, don't overheat yourself, and then bail the hell out of there. In fact, I might want to turn off more weapons, because I might want to jump. Yeah, leave myself a little bit of heat for jumping.
you say so. Target pacified.
I guess I don't really need to jump. I could just run over to here. I'm trying not to capture the base yet, because I'm worried that capturing the base will spawn more enemies. Yeah, I'll just do a non-jump move so as to not overheat any further. And you... If I'm willing to go inside the area, I could probably get a shot in the back. Well, I could jump up on top of a roof, too. Obviously, that has some dangers. Oh, yeah, and that building only has 60 health. Okay, let's not do that. This is probably sufficient to keep me not shootable by the other enemies.
Don't need to tell me twice.
Not jumping for a turn is probably also a good idea. And then let's just let him have it. We can knock off a lot of his weapon systems. We can kill the intercept system too here. I'm wondering if we just go center. Only half of our weapons hit. Now we don't have the damage output to do that. Let's just knock off this torso section and we'll figure it out afterward. Or 75 damage to the leg. With most of our weapons making contact. You know what? I'll take that.
This should be good.
In fact, every single one of our weapons. And now that he's down with legs that weak, we're almost certainly just going to kill him by taking the other leg. Okay, so that's a Warhammer. That's the tall thing that I saw earlier. Definitely worrying. What's the health on this remaining leg? 75, so you might be able to just do this. Indirect fire doesn't target body parts as well, but
Moving out.
it might be good enough.
On.
No, not even
Waiting
close.
on you, Commander.
What now?
What is the loadout on the Warhammer 6R by default? It's a fair amount of damage. Not really as scary as that thing ought to be. Alright, what if we ran over to here? Does that give me full weapons range still? Yeah. And it makes me fairly safe? I'm gonna take it.
You say so.
30%, man, accuracy is tough, huh?
Critical hit, Commander.
I was hoping to get to use the catapult for other stuff, but we might have to have the catapult take that guy's legs. Yeah, in fact, let's just go ahead and commit to that. Continue to move forward, obviously.
Moving out.
Cool if we could get to a place where I could use that large laser if I need to use that large laser. Completely failed to shoot the leg. Didn't even really try, it looked
You
like.
had the chance.
Good to go.
And you are gonna, for the moment, just fall back over here.
I read you, Commander. Moving out.
Try to make it tough for them to get a decent shot off on us. Okay, there's nothing even in that arm. That arm was just a shield. Oh hey, that was an AC-20 that I just got hit by there.
I'm gonna die.
A thing that everybody has thought when their mech takes an AC-20 shot. Grizzly, you're going to be fine. You are maybe... There's a non-zero chance that you are going to be fine.
On the move.
Alright, Sourdough's a pretty good shot, right? Do I want to drop a precision strike? Do we want to start trying to punch through the armor around that AC-20? Or, I mean, around the ammo bin, obviously. Yeah, I think this is reasonable. We're going to be hard-pressed to generate enough stability damage to knock this mech over, but we can certainly just do the raw damage.
Affirmative. Tell me what to do.
Oh, man. I think we got an ammo explosion with the very first hit through the armor. That was really nice.
Standing by.
Okay, that has made things considerably less dangerous. You still have, honestly, not that much in terms of functional weaponry. So maybe we want to move on now to the Warhammer? Armor on this thing's not really that thick, and it does have an ammo bin in the center. We could just go for the core. Ooh, I'm not actually in the right arc, though. And I definitely want to shoot and then ace pilot out of here. So we could just try to take off the arm. The leg's not that heavily armored, but this mech is not capable of putting out the amount of damage necessary. Right, 48 plus 48 plus... Well, actually, no. No, that's not right. This mech totally could do 150 damage to a single location. It probably won't, but it could. Oh yeah, I can't even fire all the weapons. Well, I'm still going to go for it. Wow, I think I hit a single missile? We should probably try to run away in a way that lets me use this building as cover most effectively. I think that's here.
I'll try.
What can I do for you?
Then I'm going to pass the turn. We're going to let these guys...
Holding action,
We're
Commander.
going to let at least one of these guys move. Oh, wait, they just chose not to do anything? Because
Good
it
to
should have
go.
been their turn first. That's pretty crummy. I was hoping that one of them would move and then I would jump in and just dodge tank the other one. Then maybe I don't do anything at all. I didn't realize they had the option of choosing not to do anything but without having anybody lose their turn. Since that's, you know, not a thing that exists in the game. Alright, the bad news is they are now both entrenched and all guarded up. Although this guy does not have bulwarks, so guarded by itself is not that big of a deal. I think I'm going to have you back up just a little bit. There's no sense in you getting in direct line of sight. Try to get some lucky damage on the leg here without aiming for it.
What can I do for you?
Because obviously we want to save the aim for someone else. 720 points of armor. But I really do want to get to use all my weapons. Because this is where I want to spend my aim, right? Alright, we're going to go for it. How are my weapons distributed? They are on the arms, so it's not really safe to turn... Oh boy, man. Well, if we manage to get his leg, that guy doesn't really have that much in the way of weaponry anymore.
Here we go.
So we're just, we're kind of committing hard here.
Take this.
Alright, that's a good start. Okay, we got the leg. That's excellent news.
Another hit like that, and you're toast.
With his leg out, we can probably take this... Man, I'm not sure what the right strategy is from there. I hate
I
to...
hear ya.
I hate to keep doing the same thing over and over again, but it may well be the case that the smart play is get his other leg. So, like, this jump makes it hard for the other mech to retaliate against me, gives me the jumping damage bonus from my vectored thrust kit, and then we could burn through that at 64 damage, but this is not even 150. Between the two mechs we have remaining, it should be possible to lance this other leg off, I think. The big downside of this strategy, obviously, is that until we actually have the other leg all the way dead, we're not reducing his combat effectiveness at all. But I think we can do it.
Commencing Alpha Strike.
Okay, also, the shots just are not going to go where I told them to go, and that's going to reduce his combat effectiveness. I didn't even break the arm. I think I only hit his leg with one part. Or with one weapon. Let's do... Oh, we can't quite get the shot there. Now remember, on the turn when he stands up, he's going to have slightly worse than normal aim.
If you say so.
So we can afford to expose ourselves a little bit more than we ordinarily would. And then also there's the fact that he's missing half of his guns now. In fact, more than half, because we got the missile too. Alright, well we may end up just coring him because our mechs are inelegant in the way they deal damage now. It works. That's still something. An interesting play. He has no fear at all. Oh yeah, I gotta remember his PPC does 60 damage because he's got those optimized capacitors. Also, there's a turret somewhere doing LRMs at us, which is how they were able to skip their turn without actually skipping their turn earlier. It's because there's one more enemy than it appeared.
Come on, mech warriors. It's go time.
Okay, Trebuchet, you are probably not... You know what? I'm just going to reserve you. Because I think it's... Once again, it's the catapult that we want to spend the resolve with.
On my way.
Shame we can't get into the appropriate quadrant.
This should be good.
It was close, right? Oh, really close. Also, his
Right here.
middle's not doing so hot. Wow, I could just jump clean over this building. I mean, that's very compelling. Obviously, I should do that just because of how cool it is. I don't know what we're actually going to be able to shoot at him once we get over here, because a lot of my...
Here we go.
It's going to generate a huge amount of heat. It might just be... Yeah, it's just the missiles. I'll take it. 16 health.
Affirm.
Okay. Boy, I bet that hurts.
Mech destroyed.
Orders.
Not that fun to be in the cockpit some of the time. Okay, here we're just kind of doing whatever. Ooh, man, maybe I should try to get a direct shot just to deal with the very bad accuracy. Can't get an unobstructed shot, which actually is... Oh, I can. I just have to, like, walk way out into the open. I guess he only has a couple of medium lasers, right? I'm still not going to risk it. We'll just take the bad shot here.
Firing a full cell.
Okay, managed to pierce it.
I think I hit something good.
The Victor V9B, by the way, I didn't explicitly say this, but I'm pretty sure this is not a base game mech, which means that we don't really need to get a hold of it. What are the odds I could just knock it out from behind? The armor is actually pretty thick. We could try to just remove its last weapon systems. Yeah, given our sort of low damage potential, I think that's a reasonable play.
Firing everything I've got.
Thing has considerable rear armor.
You got nothing, you hear me?
We should probably do something about that turret. Oof. Also, I should not allow that to happen. Jesus, that's a lot of damage.
Reporting. Structural damage.
Commander.
Like a lot of damage. Okay, this is his open side, though. Trying to back up enough that I feel relatively sure the trebuchet will not also get punched.
No.
Good to go.
Yeah, that was a pretty scary amount of damage, frankly. Oof, we're just barely not far enough away here. There we go. There's your optimal firing range. Alright, we're going to try to drive it center as much as possible. And obviously we got to turn off the laser. Okay, that really, really needed to happen.
Gotcha.
And then we should not leave until we kill that last turret, because there's money behind it.
Waiting for...
Yes,
Ready for... What can I do for you?
So we don't exactly know where it is, but it's, I mean, it's going to be over here somewhere.
Uh-huh.
Right, Commander.
Let's just run in.
moving to position.
I'm thinking at this point, probably it's actually safe to move into the big hexagon, but
It's go time.
why bother? Why not just wait at this point?
Commander?
Waiting on you, Commander.
Where did we... Oh, it's like way over there. Okay, I can get vision of that.
Uh-huh.
Heavy LRM turret. What a surprise. Fancy meeting you here. Okay, either of our LRM mechs should be able to clean this up, I would think.
Got it. Roger that.
That got a little close. Like, the catapult very nearly lost some serious stuff there.
Mission successful.
It turns out robot punching is a very serious strategy. That's right. That's why those Rock'em Sock'em robots are the way they are. They know, sure, I could go get a gun, but first of all, where does that get fun? And secondly, look how good it is when I punch him. His head comes clean off. You gonna be able to do that with a gun? Alright, so... let me verify real quick here. I'm pretty sure... let me look at my list a little bit more closely. I think the Victor's from one of the expansions, so we don't need it for the purposes of the... Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You know what I didn't do was put this list in alphabetical order? VTR 9B. No, here's the problem. I was looking at the heavy list. The VTR 9B is in fact an assault class mech. And we do need this as well. Is the Warhammer 6R... Yes, 6R is the one we have, so we don't need that. I do have to keep tabbing out of the game to adjust the list. It's too tall, unfortunately, to all fit on one screen. Okay, so then I think that's our ideal loot there. We probably did not have the tech necessary to take this thing down in a fashion that preserved two parts of it. It was close as it was, right? Like, we had to put the thing down in a real hurry. I would not have felt comfortable just trying to shoot the legs out. after it got into punching range. In fact, I was already starting to figure out what I was going to do if that catapult shot didn't clear it. I think we would have been in really rough shape. But hey, we got through it. Another planet down, and this time there was some actual drama to it, right? It was harrowing. What do we want to take with you? Plus melee hits. Unsteady threshold up is good, I guess. That's an extra 1 health for you. I should note that plus health is actually very, very good. In addition to making the pilot harder to kill, the amount of time that it takes for a pilot to heal from a wound is based on the percentage of their health that they're missing. So, a pilot that has 6 health recovers from injuries twice as fast as a pilot that has 3 health. So this is maybe actually worth taking. If crews were to get injured, I would feel really bad. We would have a... Sorry, let me clarify. Not that I would feel really bad because I got someone hurt. I'd feel really bad because the capacity of our company to destroy enemies would be lowered a lot. Also, I might feel bad because I got someone hurt, because I know they're just fake video game characters, but I still, I still get sad about it. Okay, plus 20% max sprint. This is a couple of very valuable points there for Sourdough. Doing it. We're getting people all teched out. You should probably save up for tactics.
Waiting on you, Commander.
We're going to work you toward that extra health.
Waiting for orders.
Trampoline is in a place where extra piloting is like the points of piloting that take you up to having plus 20% sprint speed are pretty good. What do we usually do with Trampoline? His job is probably going to be piloting closer range mechs, so I think the piloting is going to end up being more important for him.
I hear ya.
And finally, Uncrackable. Uncrackable is well over the XP threshold. He's not getting anything from the training machines, which means he's not getting anything, because obviously we really shouldn't put him in a cockpit yet. Well, okay, I think that was a pretty successful and reasonably lucrative day of blowing stuff up. We are going to go to this flashpoint next, I think. I know it's not going to be a super interesting one, but we're going to do this corner thing. I mean, maybe we should fly... Maybe we should fly through all these corner worlds just so that we don't have to come back here. It's a shame that these paths... it's a shame that these don't path through each other the way I would like. But, we do have to pick up an awful lot of systems. I think there might be more than 170 systems in total now, because I think they added some. So it might not be the case that we have to visit everything anymore, but we still have to visit an awful lot of systems to get that completion score. I don't know. I'll think about it. I'll try to come up with a plan, but I think this is a fine place to call our mech ventures for today. Thank you all so much for watching. We are going to continue to try to keep the battles interesting, even if it does maybe negatively affect our score in the long run. Because who wants to sit here and watch me stomp locusts for 100 more episodes? Not me, and so I assume probably not most of you. So come back next time, tomorrow, as we continue to desperately seek a challenge. And we'll see you then.